California Governor Newsom, my favorite governor, melts down over DOGE audit. Dude, I'm still fucking shocked that this guy survived the freaking recall. Like, what could you possibly, like, the fact that he survived the recall means that you can literally do anything and be fine in California if you have the D on your name. It's actually insane. Actually, you know who's running this time? My favorite sheriff, Chad Bianco. I hope he wins.
Musk setting his eyes on auditing California with DOGE. Governor Gavin Newsom is getting nervous.
As it relates to the issues...
He literally looks like a Marvel villain. Like, doesn't he literally look like a superhero villain? Like, he's literally that dude.
Audits. I mean, you know, I was commenting when I was with President Trump. We talked about the high-speed rail, and there was some discussion well before the public presentation on high-speed rail last week around audits. I think we've been audited 100 times there.
When did California pass the high-speed rail? Proposition 1A. Safe, reliable, high-speed passenger train bond act for the 21st century. When do you think this got passed? November 4, 2008. Fucking hell. Guys, you want to know what was in 2008? Soul Eater came out in 2008. Soul Eater, Macross Frontier, Spice and Wolf the original, Index Season 1, Ghost in the Shell 2.0. That's fucking crazy.
Happy to see another. At a certain point, you have audit fatigue.
What does he mean, audit fatigue? I don't think anybody is getting
I was indexed for Halloween that year.
Tired of audits. I think we're getting tired of not seeing any results from these so-called hundreds of audits. As we had a over $100 billion budget to build this high-speed bullet train, but Newsom has burned through over $13 billion so far with absolutely nothing to show for it. And here he is today, blinking 100 times a minute, trying to convince you asking where that money went is a bad thing. As the more Newsom explains about how they destroyed the budget, the more we know we need additional audits.
Do you think it is appropriate to sign $50 million of spending to fight the Trump administration while also asking the federal government for $40 billion in fire relief aid?
Well, I wouldn't frame the question as you framed it. The state of California, as you know, prepared many, many months ago for a new administration to protect and preserve our policies, our progress, and programs.
What progress? What progress? What have they even done for that?
Is directly looking to deviate from. This is well-treaded territory. We were involved. I wasn't as governor.
Hold on, guys. Okay, guys, I'm looking this up. Okay, hold on. Japan literally built a fucking underwater high-speed rail before he even started on this one. They started on it in 2005, and they finished the underwater high-speed rail that goes under the fucking ocean. Japan did it. Yes, they did that before California even started. Like, that's fucking crazy.
I served 2 years under the Trump administration, or with President Trump. Governor Brown served 2 years with President Trump. Over that 4-year period, there were 122 lawsuits. So there was some expectation that many similar efforts from the original would be replicated in his second term. And the whole point of putting $25 million up to the Department of Justice, our State Department of Justice, was to prepare for that. High-speed rail, perfect example. In so many ways, we were prescient in that respect in terms of putting those funds up in anticipation of the efforts happening in the second Trump administration.
Let me translate for you guys. Okay, you guys ready? Here's my translation. Blah 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 blah. That's what he actually said.
That happened in the first Trump administration. As it relates to the additional $25 million, that is not specific to Trump. It's about protecting people's rights. It's
yep.
To get the kind of private support they need from nonprofits and other local organizations to address their anxieties and fears. And that was done in council and partnership with the legislature.
And I don't think he's outright saying it, but I believe he's saying $25 million of our tax dollars had to go to protecting his sanctuary cities from Trump's ICE. And after the whole fiasco of creating a $30 billion deficit, with $10 billion of that being spent on health care for non-citizens, we really got to ask ourselves if we even want Trump bailing out the state.
this is all Reagan's fault.
As they may say it's for wildfire relief, but I wouldn't be surprised if that additional $40 billion just conveniently disappeared as well, while they desperately try to secure their next voter base. As when he's not vetoing the audits of where all that homeless spending went, instead of wildfire response, he's too busy setting up a new website where citizens can send them messages.
So the whole idea of this platform is to create additional opportunities for you to directly engage, to hold government accountable, to make sure that your ideas are actionable and that we are responding in real time. The idea is to find consensus, both in-person opportunities, but also creating this new platform to create online opportunities on reimagining the future of your community, focusing on public safety, wildfire safety, to make sure we rebuild with more resilience. The online participation platform is engaged.ca.gov. We hope you could participate.
That just sounds like Twitter with extra steps, as he posted this video on X, where we could just as easily respond directly to this tweet, wasting $0 extra on building a website that actually has reduced transparency as Newsom controls it. But again, this is just the same Democrat mismanagement we've seen absolutely every single step of the way, when Californians just want accountability, but the politicians are too busy blocking audits, building meaningless websites, and shooting B-roll, all while crying they're fatigued from all the nothing they're accomplishing. Oh, I'm sorry, they're not accomplishing nothing. They're busy mysteriously turning six-figure salaries into multi-million-dollar net worths. And as I said before, just using the wildfires to grift for more taxpayer cash, as they have absolutely no plans on fixing the issues.
Nobody's buying it. This person, Karen Bass, is a total disaster. And every time that you think it gets as bad as it could, she makes it worse. I mean, just look at what she's done this week, Griff. So she starts off by saying that rebuilding and getting back into your homes could take 5 years after she promised President Trump to his face that she would clear away all the obstacles. Then she launches an investigation into herself about why she went to Ghana.
Dude, they're really fucking hyped to like swoop up that land, huh? Scoop it all up. They're fucking hype. They're pulling like a freaking Maui over there.
And then she tries to shift the blame, as you say, by getting rid of her fire chief. I mean, this person is a classic machine politician, clinging to power, not taking responsibility. And by the way, let's not have a huge amount of sympathy for the fire chief. It's true that those firefighters should have been on duty. I see people running around, Rick Caruso, for example, saying that, oh, the brave fire chief who stood up to Karen Bass. No, the fire chief was a disaster as well. And you can add to that the empty reservoir lady, who on $750,000 a year, by the way, she's a disaster too. All three of them, if they had any integrity, any honor at all, should have resigned already for their role in this absolute disaster.
As a Los Angeles mayor is also too preoccupied with providing sanctuary in her city. It's gotta be the biggest slap in the face to all the residents of Los Angeles that lost their homes, where they just realized all their tax dollars went to paying other people's health care so much that they couldn't provide fire trucks or even water in the fire hydrants. And now, with the rebuild being 5 years out, your mayor is more focused on fighting Trump and ICE than trying to fix your house. But somehow, this...
It's because they want to feel so good about themselves. That's literally, that is like, I really think that's the case. I think that's really what it is they just want to feel so good about themselves. Like, oh man, like, I care so much about illegal immigrants. I'm just such a good person. Wow, guys, look at me. How much I care about, like, I care so much. And like, I care so much, guys, about illegals and like everything, you know, about them. I care so much. And, you know, and then when I see Trump and I look at the illegals and I just think about, it's like so sad. Like, I can't, how, like, guys, who's gonna cut my lawn? Who's gonna mow my lawn? There's no more illegals. Like, I like it, you know, I go like at 2 a.m. I get a California burrito at Alberto's. Like, who's gonna make it? Who's even gonna make it? Who's gonna clean my toilet?
Still keeps getting worse, as Governor Newsom is termed out, and the Democrat frontrunner for governor is Kamala Harris.
It's not only seeing it, Alex, you can smell it. You can feel it, right? So it's seeing it with our eyes, and many people have seen it. You all are covering it. But to literally be on the ground here, you can smell the smoke that was here. You can feel the toxicity, frankly, of the environment. You can feel the energy of all of the folks who are still here on the ground.
If being able to see and smell the fires is enough for her.
I can see the aura of the fire and all of the people that are sad. I can see the aura. It's like purple.
To get elected in California, the residents deserve absolutely everything coming to them. But honestly, I think things are getting so bad that even deep blue cities like Los Angeles and crime-ridden San Francisco are getting red-pilled to the effects of unilateral Democrat leadership over several decades. And hopefully they'll finally call for accountability, demand these DOGE audits in California, and if there's a criminal element to where that money went, we deserve to know. And no amount of nervous politicians crying about fatigue should be reason to stop DOGE from sinking their teeth into this mess. But if you appreciate my concise, lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, hopefully I've earned your subscription.
I super appreciate
Then go check out this video on how the governor of Maine...
Guys, he earned the subscription. Go subscribe. He earned it. He earned it.
...tried to defy Trump, but quickly got put in her place.